So everyone, China Rising is finally here. Well, it's actually been here for some time. It's just now that people on consoles and Xbox 360 specifically have been able to get their hands on it due to a number of online glitches. But rest assured, DICE is doing all they can to fix all the netcode errors and all the other random crashes and stuff. I'm not hating on them, but I'm serious. These random flashes, all these random crashes, it's getting a bit silly, but it's besides the point. I commend DICE for all their hard work on Battlefield 4, which is a fantastic game nevertheless, and if it wasn't for all the bugs, I don't think it would be nearly as fun. But China Rising, the first DLC, it goes live for most normal non-premium users in about 3 or so days on the 18th, but if you're premium like me or you're on PC, you probably already have it. So this is fantastic. China Rising, new weapons, new maps, new vehicles. What else could we ask for? And this first map right here, this is Dragon Pass. Now, I don't give you a whole lot of exclusive coverage of like every map and every detail of it. I was playing Rush on Dragon Pass and Silk Road, I believe, so I didn't really get a whole lot of coverage of the entire maps and the new weapons, but I do know I show you the L96, the L85, I think the MTAR, the Heavy Bomber, and the Dirt Bike, and some of the more bigger topic stuff, but nevertheless, I had a really hard time getting into some of these maps. Like, it took me a long time. I had to play a lot of hardcore matches before I could even find myself in a normal non-hardcore server, so things were really tough. But this is Dragon Pass, and it's one of a it's kind of a tropical Singapore, like with the sampan boats, everything going in between. It's a lot more fun on Conquest, but like I said, I had a hard time trying to get into maps. So nevertheless, found myself on Silk Road. Now you may hear yourself, yeah, you might hear yourself if you're lucky, but you might hear myself and my friend talking. I had my friend Karam, and we were in a party talking about the new maps and all, so you may hear him in the background, or you may not if the music's louder than the gameplay itself. But Silk Road, a desert map, is fantastic. Very few roads. Vehicles are still a big challenge because the hills are still, they're not scaled enough to where the tanks and vehicles can't go up. As a matter of fact, I think you guys may have already seen the little dirt bike guy going around running over all my teammates, because that was a big issue. This guy was just running around, running over my teammates on his dirt bike, and I had a tough time taking him out. And I think I actually killed myself a couple of times just trying to C4 him down. They may even be in the final cut, I'm not sure. I thought I just put it in for a little bit of a funny moment, showing that even good people do die. But nevertheless, I am using the L96 in this one right here. So the L96 is the new sniper rifle added in by China Rising, and the L96, its stats are just about the same as the SRR. I believe that's what it's called. It's the sniper rifle right before the FYJS, which is the last sniper rifle that you earn for, just normal un-DLC'd Battlefield 4. So the L96, I really enjoy it because it's a bolt-action sniper rifle, and if you're anything like me, I enjoy the aesthetics of a gun more so than the performance of it. So like with the 338 Recon or the Magnum, that sniper rifle, the sound is just perfect, although the range and the droppage over time is quite significant compared to, say, the M98B or anything like that, but the sound and the way it looks is just fantastic, and for that, it is my favorite sniper rifle. But I don't know, it may have to move aside for the L96 right here, because I played a lot of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Vegas 6-2. I already forgot what it's called. Oh no, this is terrible. I think it's Rainbow Six Vegas 2, and this was the last sniper rifle that you unlocked at rank 50, which took forever to get to, and man, I loved it so much. But as you see here, I am struggling with it, not getting all of my ranged kills, still finding out the ranging, which is one of the big things that I do when I start off with a new sniper rifle. And a little bit of a spoiler right here, these clips right here are not the best, and as I said earlier, it was very difficult for me to get into matches and all. So when I got into a match, I just hit record and said, let's just go with it. I'm going to try my best. But oh man, hopefully getting into matches without physically having to search for a server goes better, because when I downloaded China Rising, I thought the maps would just come in a normal, like the queue. Like if I just got into a match, maybe I'd get Dragon Pass or Altai range every once in a while, but no, I just got the typical Battlefield 4 stock maps. So I just decided to start searching today, and I got into these games thankfully without them being hardcore, so you're able to see the HUD and all that stuff, which I feel makes Battlefield 4 a bit better watching it wise, but without the HUD, it can make for some good cinematic shots, which is always good for a nice thumbnail. At least I would think so. But Silk Road, I really enjoy the openness of the map, although the roaming hills and the sand dunes really make it easy for somebody to, if you want to use the term, head glitch. However, whenever somebody's just peeking up their head, it's really difficult to hit them unless you know your range perfectly, and then if you miss and you hear a little ping against the sand dunes, they will hide and they will relocate, and you will more than likely get shot and have to get some dental work, or maybe even a facelift. Hopefully that's not the case, but at least I know getting shot in the neck in Battlefield 4 is not critical, and it is only a flesh wound, because magical boxes with plus signs on them, other known as medical signs, will fix you up in no time. I think this is where I killed myself with a C4. Yes, indeed it was, making a little bit of a thud, but the guy on the dirt bike still prevailed. But moving on to our very next map right here. This is Altai Heights. Altai Heights. Oh, I'm just kidding. This is some more, and I mean, yes, some more of the Silk Road. Now, this is in a completely different game mode. This is Conquest here, so a lot of the map is changed up, and there's this central military base in the middle, which has the air raid. So yes, this is where I'm switching over to Conquest, and in Conquest, at every sea base on the map, there is a bomber station. Now, if you ever played Battlefield 1943, or it might be 1942, I think it's 1943 if I'm not mistaken, there's a bomb station on every one of the maps. There's like Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, and then there's a couple others. I think there was, what was it, Grand Canal, or it was something like that, but there was a bomber raid on everyone, and I'm a bit disappointed compared to what the bomber was in 1943, Battlefield 1943, but nevertheless, it's still cool seeing the bombers come back, and there's AC-130s still on the aesthetic maps, you know, like, what is this called? Oh man, I'm forgetting all my map titles already. Goodness gracious, it's the heat of the commentary. I forget all my map names. Oh, goodness gracious, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to embarrass myself further. Now, I am using the tank on a lot of these maps because it was my first time for a lot of these maps, and what better way to explore a map than in the cozy comfort of a tank with maybe some tea and crumpets, just to help yourself warm up to the new maps, and especially since this is a very scary centralized map around this military base. You don't know where someone's going to be, and with all the barricades and all there's this convenient little step for people to look over and to shoot you very easily and willingly. So a tank seemed quite good for me until this part happened, where I get blown up by an AT mine. But nevertheless, it's time to get into the bomber. Yes, the bomber, fantasticness. And there's a cool little cinematic look into it. It's like, oh, look at him, he's getting into the bomber. And then you get into this cool little targeting zone where you are able to drop 4 JDAM bombs. Now, the JDAM bombs are not as good as I would have expected. They're these little thudders, and they'll just hit into the ground and damage things with a small amount of splash damage. That is, I don't know if it can kill somebody in one shot by splash unless they're already damaged, but if you direct hit somebody or vehicle, you're going to be doing critical damage, if not getting the kill. Now, once you do get your first kill with the bomber, you do unlock the SUAV, which is the recon drone right here, as you can really see. Oh, it's the SUAV, my bad, the SUAV. The CUAV is the one with the explosive tip, which is being abused at the moment. But right here, I'm using the SUAV for the very first time, and it's interesting because it's the controls on it make it kind of difficult to crash into somebody, which is what I was trying to do at the front and get a roadkill at the moment. But you have I'm not sure if you get into it for a complete minute, but you can see a little battery bar draining consistently, and you can spot targets, and then you can laze targets on vehicles and all. But you unlock it by getting 1 kill with the heavy bomber, which can be a bit more difficult when you're actually going for it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not all that difficult, and this little guy is pretty cool, because like I said, you can ram it into somebody and you will get a kill. But I don't understand why somebody would try and lock onto this cute little guy. It's just like trying to shoot down a lollipop or something, or like a flying teddy bear. Who would do that? Well, apparently some people are becoming annoyed with it. So once it runs out of battery, that's it, kaput, and then you have to refill some ammo from hopefully a support guy who might be willing to throw down some ammo. But that doesn't happen all that often, so be sparing with this thing unless you have yourself a crew. But yes, once we're done with this, I'm just sitting in a hill over here with my L96. Look at this, just in the comfort of the hill, just getting some sun with my little reflector. And if you weren't convinced that this map was epic enough, just watch this little clip right here where me in an LAV, I beat a fully armored tank, and it was 100% health. I remember this. So I start taking them on right here, you know, just the typical stuff. Launch some shells and then do some Zuni rockets, and let's finish it up. But just when you thought this match couldn't get any harder, some guy gets out and tries to repair this sucker. What does he think he's doing? Is there not a challenge? What is the challenge here? But I still managed to beat him, regardless of the fact that he found himself myself with an honest repairman. I run right through them. I send those little HE shells. I throw those Zuni rockets, and then I start getting smashed at the end, and I get scared and retreat. To our next map, Altai Range. This is second to last, and this is one of my favorite maps. It reminds me of some of the more snowy maps from Battlefield 3, which I really enjoyed with the cover and all. But once again, I'm over here at the sea base where the bomber is, and you'll see some more bomber footage because I'm really enjoying the bombers, even though they are a bit underpowered as with the JDAM bombs. But the mountainous maps, I'm just really one for the mountainous maps. I'm not sure what it is. It's just the feel of feels of seeing all of the mountains, the rolling mountains with the snow tops. There's just something about it that I just find so cool, and I think the developers at DICE, the map guys, did really well with this one. It's just, the sky looks fantastic, and if any of you were paying attention to the thumbnail closely, you'll notice that I took a little bit of a snippet from the thumbnail, zoomed in heavily, and then put in some vibrance and some saturation to make it look like a nice creamy blue that was just, oh man, it just called out to the eyes. But right here, we are getting back into the heavy bomber, this guy, the Haas. Now, if you're careful, you can use your 4 JDAM bombs, and then you can restock on some before going back. I think in one of the clips right here with the bomber, I managed to throw out 3 sets of JDAM bombs, so I'm dropping 12 JDAM bombs all over this place. Like, I'm dropping it like it's hot. Everyone wants a JDAM bomb. Don't worry, I got you, dog. I got some more JDAM bombs. Look at this. I'm gonna throw down some more over here. Now, I believe this one I only get 2 off, but I was just trying to use them sparingly and accurately, just throwing some down on C flag, and I almost killing myself right here. And it actually helped me find some of the enemies because they were screaming. They're like, oh man, look, he's got the JDAM bombs. He's dropping it like it's hot. And then I found him. I was like, man, what are you doing over here, boss? What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? This is my base. And right here, this is the L85, one of my favorite guns from Battlefield 3, the British L85. This thing has the fire rate, but the accuracy here. And look at this little guy right over here. He's trying to deploy his SUAV from the dumpster. What does he think he's doing? I think earlier I said what is it called? The CSU. I don't even know what I said, but right here, I actually do manage to get a full-fledged kill with the JDAM bombs, lasing down a target on that vehicle and actually getting a kill. And I was very surprised. I was wondering, whoa, I got a kill? Well, this is new, fantastic. And I picked up a nice little double kill. Now, moving on to the final map. This is, I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, the Gallon Hills. It's something like that. I put it in you can see at the very top of the screen. I put in all the names because I'm not very good with pronunciations, especially ones that aren't exactly English. But this is some more L96 gameplay right here. The L96, like I said, a fantastic sniper with the bolt action and all, and it has some good longevity with me. And watch this fail. Oh, I just completely missed, and then let's try to go for a no scope from 0.1 meters away, and I pick up a nice little, if you want to call it a triple here. It's 3 strung kills, and in Battlefield it's not always easy to do that, especially with the bolt action sniper rifle that doesn't have straight pull at the point. So I do my best right here, and I start missing, and I'm just saying, all right, this is it, I quit, let's just move right on. So this map has some really interesting parts to it. The caves and the canopies, you are able to work your way through both, and the shadows just work to your advantage or against, depending on where you are. In my case right here, I was able to conceal myself, get some quick little kills, and then just start shuffling it up on these little kids, because look at all them. He's like, oh my goodness, he's sniping from in here, and I'm going to debate that death because that didn't exactly seem cool to me. I shot him, killed him, and then I guess his ghost thumb just hit me, and it was a bad story after that. And these incendiary grenades, when I first unlocked them, I was just throwing these puppies all over the place. It just looks so cool, throwing them all over the place. And you see if little SUAV here can do the job, but unfortunately he can't. Rest in peace, SUAV. You were a good man, or a good drone, depending on how you feel about drones being integrated into society. But that pretty much wraps it up for my China Rising. Oh man, that was a butcher. But that's really all for this China Rising early coverage. I'll definitely be doing a lot more stuff with China Rising, maybe some reviews on the L96 or the MTAR or whatever comes up. But I'm going to enjoy playing these, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you have China Rising yourself, feel free to let me know what you think of all the maps in the description or the comments down below. But that's really all, everybody, and I'll see you all very soon. Stay lovely.